So good morning, sir. My name is MC2 Ochoa. I work in the Public Affairs Office at NPS. It's very nice to meet you.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. We have a couple questions lined up for you just to ask. So my first one would be, what would you like the students and faculty to take away from your graduation talk?
Well, I really tried to impart on the students and faculty two things. One, that the Naval Postgraduate School here in Monterey is a real treasure for the Navy and for the entire nation. And so I wanted to bring that home very clearly, that we have what I call a star in the constellation, a bright star, and that this is a strategic place. And then to the students, I wanted to make sure that they understood that by virtue of their time here together, and they really cross all services in the U.S. Defense Department, they cross interagencies in the U.S. government, and then the international students. Those relationships that they form across all of those cultural divides, those are going to be strategic relationships. And so as they go off into their new jobs, literally around the globe, I want them to keep in touch and understand that we really are counting on them to make strategic difference out there.
In your design for maintaining maritime superiority, one of the featured lines of effort focused on successfully achieving high-velocity learning at every level. What might the Navy look like if we achieve this vision?
If we achieve the vision for high-velocity learning, we would see across the Navy a keen desire to improve each and everything that we do. And so there's a number of ways that this can manifest itself. One is certainly we would want to attack any problem that we encounter, right? So that we just eliminate problems. But also there's a tremendous amount of energy out there in the fleet, particularly in our young sailors, who they just see things that could be better, right? They see how we could be doing our business smarter, and I want to tap into that. And so you start to get this cycle. Hey, we improved yesterday and that went really well. We're better today than we were yesterday. How can we do it even better tomorrow? And not only in our schools, but in every work center across the Navy, it's important to try and achieve that attitude.
Okay, all right. Do you have a vision about the role that the Navy's learning institutions will contribute to HVL?
Yeah, I do. And it's a dual role. One, certainly here in a learning institution, particularly one as spectacular as Naval Postgraduate School, they can they use the engine of high velocity learning, which is very similar to the scientific method. And so it should be very, very familiar here to infuse that type of cycle into the learning here at school. But as I said, it's very important that this not be confined just to schools. It has to happen out in the fleet, right? And so we're working very closely together with the postgraduate school and all of the schools so that they can find a way to teach sort of the principles of high velocity learning so that our leaders can go out there and they can become teachers. So we teach the teachers here, and then it starts to spread across the fleet.
High-velocity learning is an iterative process requiring research, identifying hypotheses, testing those hypotheses, and then adapting work based on the analysis. Do you see a role that NPS might play in supporting the Navy as various commands learn and implement this approach to their work?
Yeah, absolutely. NPS is going to play a pivotal role here because it is an institution of higher learning. We do graduate level work. We do a tremendous amount of research. That scientific method that you said so elegantly, I mean, it just rolled off your tongue there in terms of developing hypotheses, testing them, and then, when it doesn't work out, why did it differ, right? What along the way did I learn about my hypothesis and how I understand this problem? Now, you take that and you export it to not a scientific problem, but just a problem in terms of how do I do maintenance at sea, let's say, for instance. Okay, and so my hypothesis is that if I prepare my work center in this way, I will get all my work done. Let's try it out, and at the end, if we did or didn't, let's investigate what the differences are and how it can get better the next time.
Several faculty and students at NPS have expertise to study high-velocity learning in Navy organizations. Do you see a role that NPS might play Navy-wide in understanding how best to execute your vision?
Yeah, I mean, the expertise that's resident here, we have true scientists here, right? So I'm just an amateur in the scientific method, but we have people who know this as part of their day-to-day work. They're experts in it. They have deep knowledge in areas that are really important to our Navy, whether that be cyber warfare or unmanned vehicles or you name it. And so it's going to be a pivotal role that Naval Postgraduate School plays as so many people come through. We just graduated almost 400 students, and you do that 4 times a year. That is a big impact on our Navy, and so the influence of Naval Postgraduate School is going to be deeply felt as we harness the deep expertise of the faculty here, kind of inject that into our students, and they go off and start to lead around our Navy.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and I really appreciate you stopping by.
My pleasure, thanks.